What? Are you going to nitpick at my meal time, which is my favorite time?
Not like that. I'm just worried about you.
Ah, you're so annoying. Ah.
My husband said so and threw a half-empty beer can towards me. Fortunately, it missed hitting me and it hit the wall instead, but the beer spilled all over the floor. Alton, my friend, referred to this as DV. For me, this incident was just the beginning. My name is Kathy. I'm a 29-year-old housewife. My husband, Mike, is 3 years older than me and we've been married for almost 1 year. Our parents introduced us. I had longed for marriage and had never been in a romantic relationship with a man before. When I first met my husband, it was challenging for me to become close to him. Once our relationship started, I became so nervous that I became even stiff and tense.
Don't worry. Take your time, Kathy. Yes. Yes.
My husband escorted me well and helped to ease my nervousness. As we continued to meet and get to know each other through conversations, I gradually began to trust in my husband, and we decided to get married 6 months after we started dating. My parents were very happy for me, who was introvert. After our wedding ceremony, we began living together and started our married life. Living together allowed us to see both the good and the challenging aspects of each other even more clearly. I attended all-girls schools for middle school, high school, and college, and I was naive, so I thought that older men were like this. However, while I was confiding in my close friend, she started suggesting that my husband might be a bit peculiar.
What's for dinner today?
Today, I made a healthy meal thinking about your health, Mike. But these are just salad and seafood, and you know that I don't like those things. Yeah, I prepared it by cooking it perfectly, and I was hoping that it would provide you some energy for tomorrow.
Oh, why did you do such a useless thing? I fucking prefer having a hearty meat-based dish.
My husband glared at me, raised his voice, and shouted at me. I'm sorry.
Sigh.
I'll just eat out. I'm tired from work, so don't bother me with unnecessary things. I'll be more careful. Due to my husband's tendency for selective eating, he was big. At the beginning of our relationship, he was around 180 centimeters tall and weighed around 90 kilograms. However, now he has surpassed 100 kilograms. Thinking that this level of excessive weight gain goes beyond just happy weight, I switched to a healthier menu, but my husband didn't appreciate my efforts and considered it unnecessary meddling. When he stared at me with a piercing glare, I couldn't help but feel a chilling sensation run down my spine. Since I couldn't handle heavy and strongly flavored dishes every day, I started cooking separate meals for my husband and myself from that day onwards. One day,
You went to culinary school, right?
why yes, I did. You know, enough with these fancy and elaborate platings. Can't you make more fried dishes or something? Fried dishes take time to prepare. I'm craving some chicken carriage. Remake it. Well, today we don't have chicken thigh in the fridge, so go buy some right now, then. It's already 9 p.m. in the evening. Just go and get it. I'll just have beer and wait for you. Saying that, he sprawled out on the living room sofa and, while glancing sideways at my husband, who was drinking beer and fiddling with his smartphone, I obediently followed his instructions and rode my bicycle to the 24-hour supermarket that was more than a 20-minute journey away. I hurriedly went to buy the chicken thigh I needed. By the time I returned home, it was past 11 p.m. and I finally managed to make the chicken carriage. You only have cooking as your skill, right? Just show a little more consideration for me, okay? My husband regained his good mood and continued drinking beer while looking at his smartphone, and managed to devour all 4 servings of the chicken carriage by himself. I decided to point out while doing the dishes in the kitchen, thinking about my husband. Mike, eating fried food all the time is not good for your health. What? Are you going to nitpick at my meal time, which is my favorite time? Not like that. I'm just worried about you.
Aw, you're so annoying.
My husband said so and threw a half-empty beer can towards me. Fortunately, it missed hitting me and it hit the wall instead, but the beer spilled all over the floor.
Don't say anything unnecessary. I had a bad day at work and I'm frustrated. I am going to throw it at your face next time. I'm so sorry.
I was shaking at my husband's yelling. Even though I was shaking, I carefully wiped the beer that had spread on the floor with a dishcloth. My friend called this DV, but for me, this was just a beginning. It became commonplace for my husband to hit things and throw things. Sometimes he would grab my arm tightly and lift me up. Can't you hear what I'm saying? Ow, that hurts. Do you know why you've been a manhunter all these years? You have a face like a horse. I picked you up. Oh, is that why you serve me carrots?
I'm sorry. I hate vegetables. I'm tired of hearing you apologize.
I don't know what happened at the office, but when my grumpy husband came home, he started looking for something he can pick on about me and yelled at me. Recently, he started to say things about my appearance, and he even started pretending to hit me. I didn't understand what I did wrong, so I just apologized to get out of the situation. Then, my husband suddenly said,
Ow! My leg hurts.
What? Are you okay, Mike? My husband, fainting in agony from the sudden pain in his leg, was annoyed by my concern and yelled at me.
This happened because of the stressor. It's all your fault. It's because you don't listen to me. Bring the medicine box. Hurry up. It hurts.
I am sure things are not going well at the company. My husband has a short temper, and he attacks me to relieve stress. And then, in the end,
I'm going to the hospital, so give me $200, including the taxi fare. That kind of money! It's all your fault that my leg hurts. Give it to me now.
2 or 3 times a month, he would ask me for money like that, and he would either go out and come back late at night or stay out overnight without giving any notice. Kathy, it's definitely domestic violence. He's a domestic abuser. It's too cruel. Ugh. Eva, I don't know what to do. I tearfully consulted my friend, Ava, every time I saw her. Just the other day, he slapped me with his palm. It's just so hard for me to be with that man. Listen, from now on, write anything and everything in a notebook or something. Make sure you keep good records every day. Hurting my best friend so much, unforgivable. My fear for my husband only increased day by day, but Ava's advice was to pretend to be calm at all times. She also told me to consult her immediately if I had any problems. For the next 3 months, I continued to endure my husband's moral harassment and domestic violence. Just when I thought I had reached my limit, the incident occurred. I was boiling a pot of pasta for myself for lunch. My husband woke up and came out of the bedroom, and he asked me for money in the kitchen. My leg hurts again today, so you know what that means. I don't have any money left. You don't have money? Then go to the bank. If you still don't have it, go borrow it from your parents. Mike, you were in so much pain at the beginning that you almost cried, but you can obviously walk now, can't you? That's how you trick me and take money from me, isn't it? So, you're going to defy me? With that, my husband suddenly grabbed a rice bowl from the drainer basket in the sink, and he scooped up the boiling water in which I was cooking pasta, and poured it on my face as hard as he could.
Kaya awa! You horsewig dweeb who doesn't know her place. That's what happens when you disobey me.
I got a burn on my face. In the haze of vision, I turned on cold water by sense, moistened a towel with it, and put it on my face. The skin was sore and peeled off because my face was covered with nearly 100-degree boiling water. The burns were so painful that I could not stop crying.
What have you done to me? This is a clear case of assault. Ha ha ha.
It's a good feeling. I only like good-looking people. I'm a face supremacist. I thought that if I poured boiling water on your face, you could turn from a horsewig back into a human. I tried an experiment. Experiments. Without regard for appearances, I picked up my phone and called for an ambulance. When the ambulance arrived 10 minutes later, my husband was in a panic and a cold sweat, and he was wondering if he had overdone it. I was immediately treated at the hospital, but the burns on my face were serious. Fortunately, I escaped blindness, but was forced to be hospitalized. I was in the hospital for about 2 weeks. During that time, my friend, Ava, came to visit me every day. I can't believe someone would do something like that to your face, Kathy. It's so horrifying.
Ava, I'm such an idiot.
If I had left him sooner, I wouldn't have ended up here. I've already told my father about everything, so you don't have to worry. Thank you. I've already made up my mind. I want to pay a visit to someone when I get out of the hospital. Pay a visit? It's been a while since I've had that, blood rushing through my veins, so... Okay, do it right. I have never shown anger in public before, but... There was a time in the past when I lost my temper in front of Ava. Ava understood what I meant and she said do it right again. I was discharged from the hospital with a bandaged face. When I returned home, my husband, who was supposed to be at work, was home and limping, grimacing in pain. Oh! Kathy, you're back. How was it? I remained silent and placed a sheet of paper on the table. I began to pack my bags.
What? Are you going to ignore me? I was worried about you. Ouch.
The pain in his leg today was apparently real. With a frown on his face, my husband's anger seemed to be gradually reaching a boiling point. I guess he got sick and tired of my silence, and he forcibly unwrapped the bandage from my face. When he saw my changed face, he said, "Oh, my God.
Wow, what a face!
You decided to ignore me when you have a horse face, and now you look like a stupid horse. Don't show your dirty face. My eyes are rotting. He never apologized for causing me injury, and he just looked at my appearance and mocked me with all his might. I pointed to the table. The sheet of paper I had placed there was a divorce decree.
What? You want me to fill this out? I'll write anything.
My husband smoothly filled out the form and signed. He tried to throw the divorce papers at me as hard as he could, but
Arg!
my gout is hurting. Maybe the pain in his leg was so bad that he couldn't stand on it. He was hopping on one foot and tried to jump on me. I quickly stood up and assumed a ready posture, and kicked my husband in the face with a backward kick with all my might. My right heel hit him hard on the jaw. He suffered a concussion and fainted. 2 of my husband's front teeth fell on the floor. I didn't know that my husband, who had an unbalanced diet, had gout. Now I know that he had missed work because he was in so much pain. I hurriedly packed my belongings, grabbed the divorce papers, and left the apartment where I was living with my husband. I went straight to the municipal office, and I filed the divorce papers.
What?
A backward kick?
Seriously?
Yeah. He jumped at me. It went in unexpectedly cleanly. He was stretched out, but 2 of his teeth fell out? You are a great karate master. It was self-defense. Well, I guess so. It's a little terrible, but you are a woman of your word. You did pay him a visit. I had been attending a karate dojo since I was a child, but I never showed my ex-husband any of it. While I was a full-time housewife, training was the only thing I did indispensably. Ava just knew that if I lost my temper, I would surely become a bloodthirsty fighter, so she gave me a warning. As I had forewarned her, I delivered the coup de grace to my ex-husband for everything he had done to me. A few days later, my ex-husband called me. You know, you came home once, right? Did you do something to me that time? I found out that I broke my front teeth, and my head is hurting more than gout, as if my ears are ringing. Where the hell are you? Come home quick and take care of me. My ex-husband seemed to have lost all memory of the kicking scene as soon as he passed out. How did I break 2 teeth while I was sleeping? My legs hurt and my head throbbed, so I've been absent from work. The company told me I didn't have to come in anymore. I'm so embarrassed, and I can't even see a woman. Yeah. Then, why don't you get false teeth? Well, it's easy for you to say, but false teeth really expensive, he said. I don't have any money, so I need you to pay for them. Do you remember signing the divorce papers? Yes, I do. Then, we are strangers, aren't we? Why don't you ask the woman, who you can't see because you are embarrassed, to pay for you? What? A woman? Did I say anything like that? Yes, you did. You have a very convenient selective memory. Well, I have all the proof I need. Proof? After I consulted my friend Ava, I hired a detective agency, and I collected all the evidence that my husband was cheating on me behind my back. Wait a minute. Were you serious about the divorce papers? Do I look like someone who would do something like that just for fun? No, sure I signed the divorce papers, but that was more of a joke. What about the burns you caused me on my face? That was a joke, too. I guess I didn't get any of the jokes. My ex-husband was desperate to call what he had done to me as a joke. I took a deep breath and started talking slowly. I have the medical reports of my burns, the voice recorder, The records of the numerous acts of domestic violence I received on a daily basis, and also the evidence of your affair that I have already consulted with my lawyer. I've told your company, your parents, and your friends everything that has been going on. I'm going to charge you and the woman with whom you cheated on me plenty of alimony." My ex-husband seemed to have gone pale. He had no front teeth, so the sound of the air leaking out of his mouth seemed to make him sound very pathetic. He was crying on the other end of the phone, pleading with me. "You told my company, my parents, that's why they told me not to come to the office anymore."
Kathy, wait a minute. That's too much.
Besides, I don't have any money. You've asked me for money so many times, so I knew that you were having an affair. Then, please reconsider. Kathy, please. Oh, you want another back kick? Back kick? You've been calling me a horse and a fool for years, haven't you? You should talk to me through a lawyer from now on, Mr. Face Supremacy. You have a pathetic toothless face.
You kicked me, DV. Wait. Pay for my treatment.
The last thing my ex-husband said to me was to pay for his medical bills. I told him I had nothing more to say to him, and I set my phone to block calls. The lawyer is Ava's father and has been cooperating with us all along. I asked the police to start the operation in earnest. The investigation went smoothly for me. As a result, my ex-husband was booked and sentenced without dental work. He was fired from his job. He was dumped by his lover, and his relatives and friends cut ties with him. He suffered from gout, which eventually led to complications from diabetes. His weight dropped from over 100 kilograms to 60 kilograms. His hair fell out, and his is still missing 2 of his front teeth, and he is living a lonely life. Meanwhile, I have been working for my friend Ava's father's law firm. My back-kicking saga spread throughout the office, and I became a person to be admired at a glance. I was surprised to find out that there are men who are attracted to that kind of dichotomy. I used to practice karate too. I like you who are kind, and I also like you who are strong and justice-driven, Kathy. Would you like to date me? I have unsightly burn scars on my face. I don't mind. I've fallen in love with your inner beauty. Now, I am dating a young lawyer in the office. Sometimes, a rumor that is embarrassing to me can be a charming attraction to people. Failure is the mother of success. This is my second serious relationship in my life. I decided to improve myself as a woman, try not to pretend to be naive and quiet, and say what I need to say.